welcome to The Dead Case, a mystery horror game in which we play as a ghost, tasked with solving the mystery of our identity and the circumstances of our death. After the success of Shiver and how much you guys like that, I knew that point-and-click horror games are a vibe that really gels with the channel, and I knew I had to come back and do this one. This is a bit of a special video because not only is it the first Flash game I played on the channel, but it's also one that I played all the way back in the day. In fact, down here it says that it was uploaded June 7th, 2004, which is probably not too far off from when I played it 20 years ago. It's insane. I still think of 20 years ago as like Super Mario Brothers or something. I remember spending hours trying to puzzle my way through this back in the day, and I feel like point-and-click adventure games really are their own vibe, mainly because of the amount of time you spend trying to figure things out, and so you become accustomed to the loop of music and visuals, and that feeling of absolute triumph when you finally solve a piece of the puzzle and get to see something you haven't seen before. I think this is going to be a lot of fun from a nostalgic perspective, not only because I played it myself back in the day, and I imagine a number of you will have as well, but because it's a conflation of an already dated genre with what I imagine will be dated tropes in Flash games of the 2000s. But let's jump in and see how it holds up. We should be able to full screen, there we go. A Flash game created by Zachary Schaffer. Look at that, it even has a password system. I do remember this being a little on the long side for a Flash game. It was dark. Very dark. But then, you expect that in a buried coffin, don't you? Here we are. Do you hear that laughing and crying? Something's going on to the east. And if you look, our cursor is an eyeball, bloody eyeball. Some kids bullying this little girl. These boys are torturing the girl. If you want to interfere, use the hand tool. Okay, so we use the eye to look around, and we can click over here to manipulate things using our ghostly powers. And there they go. Now we can pick up the little bunny, and this is how it is, just using whatever tools we have available to gain more tools to overcome obstacles. Listen to that soundtrack. Not only is it dated in how, like, compressed sounding it is, it's sort of charming in its way, but it's got that sort of urban spooky feel that was really popular at the time. Well, I guess that didn't have the heroic effect we hoped it would, but now we have an object we can use. God, look at our character here. Now this is really interesting because I'm full screening this here, but stretched to 16:9, we actually see some of these images go black and white on the borders. I hope I'm not breaking something by playing it this way, but it seems somewhat intentional. It looks like up there we may have a map. In any case, I can't click it. Look at our character here, just kind of shimmering back and forth between frames. We are so weird looking. I feel like a lot of Flash games had the look of, like, graffiti, you know? Like, I could imagine this guy spray painted on a wall somewhere. There's just so much creativity. Alright, let's have a look around some more. It doesn't have much text etched on it yet. It must not be complete. It just says 1975 to 2004. That's supposed to be like a young guy. I can't believe that's like 50 years old now. Here lies Katie Aaron, beloved wife, etc. And it doesn't ring any bells, but then again, not much does for you just yet. This whole game is going to be about getting our memories back. Imagine the disoriented state of just not only not knowing who we are, but not knowing how we came to be this way. Over here is the grave of Henry Watkins. I mean, Steam is just like flooded with indie games and has been for well over a decade. This is kind of where that starts, the idea of independent developers just getting their vision out there, shared by people. And you wouldn't really make a lot of money doing this, if any. I mean, the sites would have ads on them, but I imagine most, if not all of that would have gone to the site itself. And even then, I'm sure it wasn't nearly as lucrative as it is now. So let's have a look around, because in adventure games, the biggest deal is always knowledge. Look at how our character's sprite is clearly an independent asset from the backgrounds. So our scale makes no sense. You can hear that background music looping over and over again. It looks like the stars may actually be slowly moving across the sky, indicating that it's its own layer. Or maybe that's just a bit of an illusion. Either way, like, even the jankiness has its own charm. And again, maybe that's just because I was there. Let's keep heading this way. No, we try to go this way, and these green barriers appear. Which doesn't necessarily mean we can't go that way. It may only mean we can't go that way yet. We can also go up and down. This is going to be so hard to navigate. I remember spending so much time absolutely lost in this world. Eventually you do learn it, but you learn it visually, not intuitively. It's a gray truck of some type. We can continue down the road, or we can go this way. Back into an upper part of the graveyard. You'd think across this big would have something on it, but it doesn't. This is Grant's tomb. Well, Helen Grant's tomb. The name reads Alan Fishmorth. Never heard of him. That was such a big part of the flavor of these adventure games, wasn't it? How even things that didn't necessarily advance the story would still have some kind of flavor text. Karen Kittigo. Whoops. Okay, so we could always go that way. What about downward? There's one of those punks from earlier. Get on out of here, you. Up and over the fence. That's actually pretty impressive animation. Look at this, these MS Paint backgrounds. But the shading still manages to get across the exact mood that it wants to. It goes to show that it's not necessarily about fidelity of graphics, just in making sure that the right vibe is present. A flower bush. The family appears to own a dog. Yuck. What if we... No, don't touch that. Flower bushes are best smelled, not pulled to bits. Yeah, but you can't smell much, can you? I've noticed that regardless of whether we're holding the eye, it seems that the covered one and on our model is always empty, so the way we died, did it involve losing an eye? When I was a kid, I did manage to beat this, but I don't remember anything about it. Can we chase that kid down? No, but there is a light on in that window. The hours are stuck to the door. It literally just says hours. The lamp bulb is too hot to handle. So you can still hurt, I suppose. Oh, we went in the open window, and there's another ghost here. Alright, well, before we disturb you, can we look at the papers here? The scraps are blank. Several card catalog storage units are here. Alright, let's see what you have to say. It's good to meet another member of the community. I can't click on you. There we go. Okay, now here's the dilemma posed by an art style like this. Is that an open mouth or a big ol' mustache? Judging by the glasses, I'm gonna imagine you're inspired by the old man from Pickles comics. Oh, look at this, we even have dialogue trees. We can ask about the library ghosts so we know what to call you at least. I was Ivan Kent when I was alive, though I didn't know that fact for quite a few years. I keep this library running exactly how I think it should, and do my own private research. What are your thoughts on vaccination, then? I really gotta know what you mean by that. Still, though, I think we actually saw your grave in the graveyard. I'll have to go back and check. That's an interesting detail. So, you're managing this library even in death. That must lead to some confusion among the living staff, huh? Recent deaths. Recent deaths? There have been a few. I think the police are covering yours up, but I haven't found out why yet. Anyway, I know that there recently was a fire, and a woman died in it. I don't know the details. I'll see what I can find. I think we've just found our mission control. You're a studious one, which means you're very, very useful to have on our side. And it does seem that you're helpful, although I'm a bit concerned with the idea that you didn't know who you were until years later. You seem to know who we are, but you're not spilling the beans just yet. That's a scary thought, that you can exist in this purgatorial state for years before even knowing your purpose. Okay. What about the green walls? The green walls mark the extent of your territory, where you can haunt. It'll change size depending on how powerful you are, and you can go more places. You'll find you also have more trouble entering private homes unless the doors are open. I'm still researching why. You having up-to-date information is powerful, powerful stuff. But can you tell me anything about being a ghost? Being a ghost isn't useful in my opinion. Only the more powerful ghosts can even pick up the smallest of objects. Well, I picked up a doll. Does that mean I'm powerful? We also can't travel very far, or even remember much of our past lives. I'll help you with your transition as much as I can, though. Now, who knows if this is deliberate design or just something that happened accidentally. Again, a lot of the time these Flash game creators were just enthusiasts. But the first person we can speak to, the first friendly face, is in this open window with a glowing light. We were practically invited in, this image was so warm. So, I accidentally scared some children. They seem to be able to see me. Scaring children? I doubt that's a very good idea. I'd actually be a little surprised if they could see you at all. Still, you become more powerful when people believe in you. You could increase your range and abilities. But there's got to be a better way. This is the strangest infomercial I've ever stumbled upon. But still, that gets us more information, more abilities. You seem to think there's a better way, and hopefully there is, but for now, we're just gonna have to feed off of them, forge our legend. We have new dialogue. What should you do? Well, it may be best to explore all the locations you can reach, and try to add to your power level, so that the more of the map opens up to you. I heard there was some supernatural activity at the church, too. Okay, the church, so that's our next lead. I've checked, and your power level influences how far away from your primary location you can venture, mostly. To get more power, you need more people to believe in you. Scaring them seems to have been effective for you so far. The town is pretty ordinary, really, except for all the strange deaths. There have been many recently, and not all of them are related either. I worry about this place sometimes. Well, that's nice to say, and, well, very mysterious. Presumably we are a victim as well. But why worry about anything if you're a ghost? I mean, if you know there's an afterlife, if you know it's not that bad, maybe there is some state that would allow us to move on, or maybe this is just how it is. Memory loss happens to most ghosts. I think it's rather a shock to die. I had to do extensive research to discover who I was, and how I died. It can be difficult, and each ghost seems to need something different to remember. maybe we need to help them remember. Alright, well, I guess that's all for now. Doesn't seem like we can really explore around in the room itself, so let's get out there. Okay, so we've learned a little bit more, not about who we are, but what we are at least. And we've been given some sense of direction, which I guess is a better head start than most can hope for. The good news is that if there are a lot of recent deaths, the town should be lousy with ghosts. Yeah, I'm a little confused about how some of these areas actually connect. We can make our way up the street, although no, we really can't. We are very, very limited in our range until we come upon the church. Can't seem to... A tiny cross sits on the church front. Well, the lights are on and the door is open, so let's step inside. What is going on with this scale? Also, there's a giant burning ghost here. Seems like the opposite of what you'd want in a church setting. These little candles are burning quite happily, by all appearances. I imagine they had some help. The organ appears to be broken. Maybe we can repair it? I'm looking at absolutely everything before I try to engage with you. Oh, that leads out. Alright, let's speak with you. Didn't the library ghost mention that a woman had died in a fire recently? It also looks like their appearance has something to do with how they died. Well, she looks like trouble, quite simply. Kinda sexy for a ghost, though. Well, she's the second one you've encountered. Look at those dark, deep eyes. How dare you speak to me? I'm obviously in no state to deal with your stupid questions. Get out. And she's gone, which is better than what she could have done. I kind of thought she was about to burn this whole place down. Even our character seems to have a bit of a fearful expression now. I remember being quite fearful of her as well. I remember being afraid to come in here and talk to her after that. If we go back in, she will not return. Since when do you remember how to play the organ? Oh, the candles have gone out as well. The stained glass depicts some random colors. Abstract art, go figure. Okay, so now what then? We can keep going this way. Look how dark it gets as we head towards the edge of town. Things become sparser, the dead trees hanging over the abandoned cars. It doesn't look like there's anything for them to park beside at the very least. I'm a huge fan of this aesthetic, because it's almost like the 90s style being modernized for the 2000s, which feels weird to say about 20 years ago. Can't go any further north. Or east. Down it is. Looks like a flag from here. So this gets us back to the cemetery. This is where we scared those kids. Alright, it's really important to learn the grid, the layout. How appropriate that the streetlight would be blown out right beside the cemetery. Oh man, we really helped enhance the mood. You guys went your separate ways, dispersed. I'm a little surprised that you decided to go it on your own after what you all witnessed. You don't even seem to notice us. Oh, never mind, there you are, just a little bit of a delayed reaction. Which means that theoretically we should be able to enter more areas now, right? Let's see if we can follow you. Nope, not quite. Oh, now we're on a roof overlooking the town. Ad for canned foods. Where do we go from here? This is so confusing. But we weren't able to get here before, remember? Back to here. Still can't go that way. We'll never know just how far our influence is spread until we try it. So every time we scare someone, we're just gonna have to go a little bit further. No? Can we make our way up this street now? No. It doesn't seem to have done a whole lot for us. Look at you, you've come back here. Ah, yes, feed me, feed me, feed me, and more importantly, go home and scream to your parents about how I did this. If anything, that only helps spread my power further. You don't necessarily have to see me, right? They just have to believe in me. That was what they said. And now our power is even greater. A black Honda. I love how these games had just no care for copyright. A lot of the time there would be licensed music, characters would just have photographs as faces of famous people. This looks like an apartment building of some type. An apartment, a place where people live and die. List the parking hours. Since you have no car, it doesn't matter, does it? I don't know, I feel like they'd find a way to ticket me. I can't seem to go over there, though. Look at this. Those early stages of the game are actually burned into my memory. I spent so much time wandering around trying to figure out what to do. This stuff is a bit more of a mystery to me. This way presumably leads to the church. Yes, okay, so there are landmarks in the environment to help us navigate. It's not entirely based on memory. There's a little recycling bin left out on the sidewalk. Helen's Flower Shop. It reads 72 Chelsea Street. 81 Chelsea Street. Maybe these addresses are important for later. A police station, and it appears the door is open. Nice to have that street lamp lighting up the alleyway. There must be no crime there. Well, that and being beside the police station probably has something to do with it. 2 police cars. Look at us just crawling in here. We always seem so small compared to whatever environment we're in. Maybe we'll physically increase in size as we scare people. In any case, we're sitting here looking like we're trying to tell our mom we threw up. She's playing solitaire. I hope you're not bored enough to watch somebody play solitaire. Well, I don't know. Check the view count on this video to see how many people are bored enough to watch somebody play a Flash game from 20 years ago. Some cop is back there pretending to work. Doesn't this town have a string of mysterious deaths? I feel like there could be something for them to do. Okay. Can we try scaring her? You're not strong enough to get in the way, and she doesn't see you. I mean, it's often been said that children are more sensitive to the supernatural. In this case, they act as a good starting point for me. They're more willing to believe in stuff like this, and so we're able to appear to them. Okay, let's get out of here and look around some more. Can't go that way. An apartment. The left window and door both appear to be rather firmly shut. Yes, but the window is open. Aside from some dirty old bricks, this spot is not interesting. Says you. You know what's funny is that this actually kind of reminds me of the Garry's Mod map, Unsettling Streets. And I don't remember if I mentioned it at the time, but that map reminded me a lot of this when I played it. There doesn't appear to be anyone here. Some bits of rubbish. A small wax candle is sitting there on that cardboard box. And more bits of rubbish. The phone is actually connected to the wall. Might work. But can we use it? The door is deadbolted. It doesn't seem like there's anything else here, but this wouldn't be enterable if something didn't happen here. So we'll make a note to check this out later. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything here, but this space wouldn't be enterable if something didn't happen here later, so we'll have to keep it in mind and check it out. Those buildings back there seem like they're abandoned. And we can't go in that direction. It seems like whenever we increase our power, it's all in a certain direction. Can't go that way anymore, but since we haven't been this high up before, we should be able to travel to the left, right? Keep going. Oh, it's a homeless guy. I thought that was a corpse at first. Well, I suppose the two aren't mutually exclusive. It's some drunk guy. Looks like he's out cold. If we could scare him, that could be the gateway to scaring the police, but I can't do much with him now. I mean, I can't spread my legend if I'm not even being perceived. At this point, he wouldn't even perceive a human. Look at this, a cul-de-sac under a single streetlight. The lamp doesn't illuminate much of the street. This is just childhood vibes right here, both in terms of the game itself and what it depicts. 56 Chelsea Street, so this is all Chelsea Street. Some old car parked by the side of the road. If we head downward, there's even more urban streets. The residential area looks very quiet and dull. Yes, but there must be some reason for it all to exist, right? Is that a pool down there? It's a partially deflated pool toy, yes. A swimming pool, and not very deep. Can we go check it out? Oh, it's to the side of this. What an ugly lawn chair. We're mostly just going around judging people's living accommodations. That's like a majority of what we've done so far, rather than even attempt to solve our own crime. Ooh, a fountain. You can't see anything through the water. It's not exactly clear in the fountain itself. Oh, here's a map. We can see it in the help menu. Okay, that is tremendously useful. Even this is like fully MS Paint style. Ah, but we can also see a path. So if we go down and all the way to the right, we could make our way to a schoolyard and the hospital. Let's try it. Oh, a burned down house. I bet this is where the church ghost died. If we can... She's a recent death. She may not know who she is. It looks like a wedding photograph. The writing is too smudged to read. I bet if we show that to her, maybe she'll be willing to talk? Can I pick it up? Come on, if I can pick up a bunny. A wedding photograph. Maybe it'll be useful. Now I'm hoping that at some point we can find that little girl. Give her stuff back. You need a garage door opener for this. Last I checked, you didn't have one. That's either sarcasm at me attempting to open a door, or we actually are gonna find one later. And that goes straight back to the library. It is so weird how these things connect, because when you're running against these barriers, you kind of write these locations off. Still, we are more powerful than ever, and we should be seeking to exploit that, shouldn't we? There's the hospital. You can't get in down there. There must be another way. Well, I think I found one. Oh my god. Whoa! Your character sprite has been burned into my memory for decades. I've been trying to remember for so long where I saw you. This is it. I am really getting something out of this replay. I'm also thinking that 9-year-old me was an idiot for not being able to progress through this more quickly. Because this is actually... we're making crazy time. My name? I don't remember my name, but stick around. It's been some time since I talked to anybody. So you appear as like a green glowing smudge. Does that mean that you died of some kind of sickness, being that you're here in the hospital? Or maybe you're just related to Slimer. I loathe being a ghost. Some ghosts enjoy it, I've heard, but I don't. I just want to move on. I mean, being trapped where you spent your last days in misery, yeah, I can imagine you'd have some bitterness towards this. I've heard that a way to get out of this world is to open a gate into the afterlife. The ghost in the library told me about it. It's difficult to open, though. I wonder if it doesn't maybe feel better to be closer to your point of origin, because if you're powerful enough that you can reach as far as the library, that you have been in contact with other ghosts, I don't know, it seems weird that you choose to stay here. I hate this hospital, and yet I stay here. I don't know why, not really, but I think if I stay here a long time, I'll figure it out. That's something I hadn't considered. I mean, if you're a ghost, you are eternal. You have nothing but time. If you want to spend 1,000 years on some pointless task, even something that doesn't particularly matter but you think may bring you satisfaction, well, what do you have to lose in doing so? It's not like you have somewhere to be. My death? Do you realize how personal that question is? I guess not. But usually the form of a ghost reflects something about his death. I believe I was poisoned due to mine. Not just sickness, but poison. Do you think maybe it was a doctor or nurse here that would have done it? Okay, well, I'll leave you now. Right now, all I really care about is getting back to the church and exploring more of this area. It's closed, even when I pull on it. Might be a thing called a lock. You know, for an adventure game, you're really snarky with me trying to interact with your environment features. This one soundtrack playing the entire time. In a game like this that's dedicated to figuring things out, it burns itself into your memory, to the point where I feel like I filled it in mentally even before I had even heard the first loop. It doesn't seem like that counts as an open window. We can go very far, and there's another candle here. That's 2 of them. Let's make a note, they seem important. You can't take the hammer. It appears to be nailed down. That had to be hard to do. I really appreciate that type of humor. This game is so effortlessly, casually sarcastic and deadpan. Oh, we could take the candle. We can take it with us. I bet that has something to do with the church ghost as well. There's probably going to be no more going this way, but we can head up to the schoolyard. It's red paint. I think I could place something small up here. Why would I want to? Hang on, wait. Can I can't seem to access my inventory at will. Only in certain places. What? Reliving your childhood? You're dead. No, I'm reliving my childhood by playing this game. Wow, that commentary aged like wine. Another ghost. Oh, you're all sad and weepy, and there's a glowing form in your chest. My name? I just don't know. Being a ghost is okay, I guess. It could be worse, couldn't it? Maybe not. I like the school. I like to watch the children. I wouldn't dream of scaring them. I just like to look. That's oddly sweet, but also creepy. These kids going about their day not knowing that there's someone who's died just watching them. I mean, I wonder if they ever get a weird feeling. You must be deliberately hiding yourself if you can't scare them when they seem so prone to these things. Alright then, what about the children? Maybe you can even shed some light on that. I like children. I just do. Don't you like children? I suppose I do, but I don't know if they like me. We kinda got off on the wrong foot. My memory is blank. I don't know anything. I'm so very lonely. Well, maybe we can help. If anything, that makes the library ghost seem pretty noble, doesn't it? I mean, he seems to have figured out a way to open a portal, yet he stays behind, helping people. Well, helping those who need him, I suppose. And here's the middle school. You're not that patriotic, are you? No, and we can't go in either. Yeah, sweeping this place in a grid pattern seems to be highly effective. There we go. So I heard about a way to the next world. There is a way to get to the other world. The spirit world. It's a spirit gate, opened by focusing the power of ghosts. I'll try to look up more information on it for you. So I had just assumed that a lot of your wisdom came from experience. I would really like to know where in this human library you're getting all this information from. But I guess you're in a unique position to test this stuff if anyone ever wrote it down. The ghost in the hospital is one that I know very little about. I'm trying to research him. I do know that there was a hospital scandal, and I would bet it's connected to the ghost. Definitely a killer in the staff. The ghost by the schoolyard is a sad ghost. She seemed happy to have someone to talk to. I get the impression that her death may not have been a natural one, by her attitude. A really sad case there. What about the church? That ghost, I've heard, is rather temperamental. Don't I know it? I've not visited her myself, as I've heard she reacts poorly to men. I should have warned you, I apologize. But her fiery display probably has something to do with her death. So what of your research? I've done considerable research. I put some of it on the table there, but I'm happy to share what I remember, too. Just ask me about the specific thing you want to know about. Alright, how to open the gate. So, you want to open it? It seems like the best plan, really, at this point. To do so, you need to convince the 3 other ghosts in town to focus their energy with us. I only hope it will be enough. So it needs to be a group effort. Ghosts together strong, huh? Well, we've met 3 others. I guess that means you won't be coming with us, huh? Alright, let's poke through your notes then. The ghost in the church most likely died in the building to the southwest in a fire. The police suspect the fire was set by either of the people that lived there, Mr. or Mrs. Toberin. The police haven't released any official information, though. This happened about 2 weeks ago. So it could have been either of them, and given her temper, maybe her? Although maybe it's a natural result of being betrayed in that way. The ghost in the hospital. A man died in the hospital of uncertain causes last year, and since then there have been reports of a ghost lurking about and taking revenge on the doctors. So you're actually quite powerful then. That explains your ability to travel so far in town. You've been absolutely terrorizing the staff, and maybe they earned it. Ghost of a school. That ghost is a puzzle. No known murders have occurred that she's linkable to. Another kind of death is suggested. Well, she seems to hold the watery form. We've seen a pool and a fountain. Okay, let's head out. Ooh, hey. We can grab that can. Maybe I can use it on you? No such luck. How about any of this stuff? Looks like he's out cold. Yeah, okay, I guess we're not going to be able to do that just yet. There must be something we can do. As for the church, I'm having this problem where I can't find the church, but I also refuse to look at a map. There we are. You're back. You're not going to want to answer any questions, but what if I were to show you this? Oh my. I had forgotten. How could I have forgotten? Yes? And now you're gone. You're still not willing to talk, though, unless perhaps... There we are. My name was Marion Toberin. I don't remember my maiden name. That's awful. I hate being stuck with my husband's name, even in the afterlife. That is quite a fate. Only able to use the last name you took because you simply can't remember the one prior to that. The pictures of my husband and I don't want to talk about it. It brings back some really horrible memories of him. My husband was cheating on me. At least, I think so. I didn't find proof, so I remember investigating the basement. I just can't remember more right now. I can light the candles whenever I'm in the mood. Why would I start that fire? All the evidence was there, too. What was it? I wish I could remember what was down there. So maybe that's it. Maybe we have to go investigate the basement. Well, oh, now that we've talked to the library ghost, we can talk to you again. You're missing both your eyes. I have a deep pain in my soul that's... I can't even explain it to you. I want it to end. I hope we can help. I seem sad and depressed. Well, I am. I always have been. Something is missing. I lost my eyes. Did I tell you that before? All I can see through them is murky water. Murky water? You said you couldn't see into the fountain. If you could find them and hand them to me, I'll take them back. Okay, we know what to do for you. It might be nice to open the gate. I haven't decided, but I don't mind helping. But I'm too sad to help now. I can't even see. I thought you liked watching the kids. Maybe it's more about feeling their aura, hearing them at play. I think certain things trigger certain memories. I bet mine is really difficult. But I don't know if I want to remember. Like, this writing is... It's not complicated, but it's surprisingly deep for a Flash game, you know? Okay, let's try and find where that fountain was. There are certain things that I just cannot find again for the life of me. There's your place. Can we enter the basement? Ah, here we are. There are... Look at those ghostly eyes in the fountain. You take them. They're all red. Here we go. This is where the candle was, so we'll take that. That's 2. I imagine Rule 3 is going to apply here. Although I don't remember if we've seen another one. You there, I've got something for you. I don't believe it. You found my eyes. Well, given what you said earlier, you should have been able to see us hauling them over here. I can see now. It's nice. Though, I just realized I don't really have anything nice to look at. Oh, look at you. You still look sad, but not quite as much when I can actually see your gaze. Okay, now, about the gate. I'm still not ready to help you. I feel too weak. Okay, maybe I can help you with that? What a lovely doll. My girl had a doll. Long ago. You had a daughter. The children. Yes, the children! I remember my daughter, and how beautiful she was. She died as a baby, and I know that I died. I don't want to speak of it. I was so sad. You don't understand. Is this the afterlife? Or is there more? I'm unsure. I don't know that my afterlife will be good, because of the things I've done. Are you just beating yourself up, or is there more to you that we don't know? My name was Rebecca Holloway. My daughter. I called her Emily. She was lovely, and the only way for me to remember her father. Now that she's dead, I have nothing now. Yes, I'll help you open the gate when you're ready. It's the least I can do for you. That girl who dropped this doll earlier has no idea the impact she's had. Okay, so that's it. We've got one ghost to help us open the gate. Now we just need 2 more. And we are very close by to another one. Let's go see that hospital ghost. I've got to play Murdered Soul Suspect on this channel. I just love the idea of ghostly unfinished business. Of being in this purgatorial state where we're still here but can't interact, having to come to terms with everything that we were being lost, and trying to figure out what we do with the future we didn't expect to have. I told you before, I have very few memories. I know I've not been dead for more than about a week, though. I remember going to my own funeral, and there was nobody there, except for a bum. So that guy has something to do with you. Maybe an old friend? I also, according to the library ghost, you've been dead for a lot longer than a week. Maybe you're not perceiving time correctly? The range I can walk in is pretty good, really. I can go to the lake in the west, and the mall to the east. I've increased my power by myself. Well, you have a whole playground to work in. What about the doctors? I hate doctors. I think that's why I get such fun out of playing with them here. Everyone has to have a hobby. That's interesting because it seems like your likes and dislikes are very much informed by the circumstances of your death, and you feel them so strongly, but you don't necessarily know where they come from. I don't want to be a ghost anymore. I can help you open the gate to the spirit world. But first, I want to remember who I was. You'll just have to wait until I figure it out. Or until I help you. Friends? I don't have any now. And I don't think I had any friends then. What, are you trying to research me or something? Well, this information may very well be useful to the library ghost. Let's go. I love this whole unseen world. It's actually reminding me a bit of Sorry We're Closed. It all exists parallel to the human world, and it's just so interconnected. Everyone knows everyone else. It is like an undead community. Alright, we are now on the hunt for the homeless guy. I think it would be this way. There you are. I don't think poking him will help. He might just throw up on me or something. Well, that might actually be useful. We haven't gotten any new items in a while. When in doubt, I feel like it's always helpful to check with the library ghost. I figured you'd have more to say to us. So you want to open it? We've already seen that. but maybe you have more information on these guys that we can share? Details about the hospital ghost. Well, he's a difficult case. There's one thing I've noticed. There is a man, Rick Madison, who's been drinking himself into a stupor ever since the hospital ghost arrived. I don't think it's a coincidence. He might be family. Alright, so we should probably go revisit that. One thing that's sort of annoying to me about this is that you don't always know when something will have changed somewhere. It's not always clearly indicated. In this case, though, that definitely is our hint that we should go revisit him, even if this doesn't necessarily physically lead to something changing. Now that we know, the world will reflect it. The school ghost is something of a sorry case. I heard she's rather absent-minded, that that's the reason she lost her eyes. Misplaced her own eyes. Can you imagine? Or can you image? Maybe if you ask her about it nicely, she'll tell you more. She's stayed away from me. Dude, just sneak up on her. What about the... Hello? Hello? Did a flash game just crash on me? Oh, there we go. Never mind, we're fine. That was really, really weird. Oh, I would have been so annoyed. I guess I could have looked up a password. Alright, church ghost details. I know the ghosts can be difficult to find. She moves around more than the others. She stays in the church because she doesn't remember where her home is, much like you. Perhaps you can locate her previous home to get some clues. Been there, done that. It wouldn't let me get into the basement. But what about you? I mean, you're as much a part of this as anyone. Me? Oh, I'll be here to help you focus the gate when you get it set up. When you talk to all the ghosts and convince them to help you, come back and see me. I love the idea of having that ghost as an anchor point. We go out and we have all these objectives, but he acts as not only a guide to the player so you have some sense of direction, but he's also a tether. He's a friend in a really confusing time. He provides answers when that's exactly what you need for comfort. If I had a penny for every car you touched, I'd be rich. Hey, you're the one that's putting them in the environment. Wait, I just had an idea. We may not be able to talk to the homeless guy, but what if we try showing you the beer can? I remember that day now, certainly. I remember suffering here until finally my life was ended. It was more than just this hospital to blame. My name was Stephen Marks. I remember my motorcycle and how I loved to travel, constantly moving. The beer can reminded me of my accident, if you could call it that. I was hit by a drunk driver on the night that I died. Maybe the homeless guy? So not a friend, not a family member. Just a guilty drunk. My death. Yes. Yes, I remember more about it now. I don't think I want to share it with you, but now? Yes. I know why I stay in this hospital. Revenge. Of course I want revenge. And I'll get it. Slowly. If I don't get out of this realm before it happens. Well, we really ruined that guy's odds. Yes. Now I will help you open the gate. But you'll need more than just my help. You need the others in the area too. 2 out of 3. Maybe, since you have the range, maybe we can go see you get your revenge? That would be a sight to behold. Let's go. No. Something tells me that if I can just find one more candle, that's all that's needed to get on the good side of the church ghost. Only question is, how are we actually going to go about that? I've been everywhere, and just nothing stood out. What if I try handing you the ones that I already have? candle should go outside on the building. Wait, maybe it is only 2. Maybe it's not 3 that go to one of these stands. Outside the building, right? You'd better light it before you put it there. Okay, so we probably need her help with that, right? Oh, unless if we go inside, light them here. Oh, look at that! And the little icon changes. Now we can put those up here. You know what? I bet that's part of the ritual. Only 1 lit candle is needed there. Anything new from you? Candle placement. You need to set up a candle by each ghost for me to open the gateway. They must be placed at the highest point, in close vicinity to the ghost. So, for example, the church candle should probably go outside on top of the church. Okay, that makes sense, which means we are indeed missing 1 more candle. And I presumably can't use myself opening the gate. Now that you have the support from the other ghosts, we can begin. However, you need to find a way to channel their power. I can create a focus point, but you'll need to get 3 candles and set one up by each ghost. They need to be lit. So getting her back was really all about getting the fires to light them myself. She may not actually be the one we need. I'm the 3rd ghost here. Well, then I probably have to place the candle by this red paint. There we go. It's the same candle that you put there, and it looks like it'll last a while. I'm glad they have an excuse prepared for that. Ah, look! A candle on a grave. I don't remember if it was always there, but it's ours now. Thank you, and to who do we owe the pleasure? Grant's tomb. Helen Grant's tomb. Helen was also the name of a flower shop somewhere. Okay, that's 3. 3, we just need to light it now. And bring it to the hospital. So let's go like that. We apparently don't need your help. I'll help you open the gate. I'm glad to have these memories back, even if I'd rather have more. Alright, let's get in here. Where would we go about placing your candle? It needs to be at the highest point, so really on top of the building. But I didn't really see an obvious place to put it. Right here? There we go. So that's all. That's all 3 candles placed. All ghosts agreeing to help. Put the candle outside my window on the roof. That should be a good focal point for my energy from here, so each of them would have told us. Okay, you'll help open the gate. What about the other ghosts? The other ghosts should help you too. You'll need a candle for each of them. I'm not sure where you can get candles, but you can get them lit in the church, blah blah blah, all stuff we already figured out on our own. Oh, man, some of these guys have been ghosts for a while. Meanwhile, we've been here for an hour, and already we're ferrying people to the afterlife. Alright, Ivan, tell us what we do from here. Am I ready to open the gate? Yes, I think I am. But wait, there's more. Your newest password is DeepNet. You should write this password down. We've only completed Chapter 1. Straight into the basement. We are continuing her mystery. The others have moved on, but we weren't allowed. Also, that is a really cool use of gameplay and story integration. I mean, it spends the entire lead-up frustrating us with trying to search the town only to be met with that green wall and that accompanying sound. And now, right as it seems like we're finally succeeding, to have that denying our entry to the afterlife. That was really effective and really cool. Oh, look, a skull. A human skull sits here on this grave. That's creepy. The shovel is flecked with dirt, but also hasn't been used for quite some time. This open grave was probably not going to have a marker on it. Good job securing this crime scene if you haven't been into the basement, haven't found the human remains. Let's see what we can take. The shovel's too big and heavy, but Darwin's coming with us. Okay, we can't look inside the grave either. I wonder, were the other ghosts denied as well? I don't believe they should have been. I mean, it seemed like they moved on. Wait, maybe we can ask Ivan what happened. What happened? The gate didn't open. I can only guess that the gateway cannot be used by you yet. Something is missing. I'll try to find out what that is, but I don't have high hopes. What's next? You should talk to the other ghosts and see if they'll speak to you. Maybe one of them knows what went wrong. It should have worked. What about them? The other ghosts won't be happy with your failure. It took a lot of energy for them to manifest the gateway in the first place. I feel weakened as well. I've had trouble picking up objects and can no longer be seen by humans. Our range seems to be unaffected, but maybe we're weaker too? I don't have any new information since you were here last time. Did you talk to the others yet? We're all disappointed, I think. I really wanted this gate to work, as it would have allowed all of us to find some greater purpose. Well, at least all of you can focus on your revenge stories now. Your memories will come back when you're ready. If you must remember something, go to the northern graveyard, and come back here afterwards. Okay. That's right, we never really solved our personal quest. Of course it wouldn't end yet. I'm guessing that you are someone important to us, right? Adam Smith. That's our name. The flowers are slowly wilting. But where did she go? Oh, she's completely vacated the church. The hospital ghost is a powerful and scary one, and I'm really worried how he's gonna react. He's gone too. He's left. So where have they all gone? I imagine that means then that the Schoolyard ghost won't be here either. No. Oh, there you are. She has no use for that. No use for what? I didn't really think it would work. None of us have really grown any, have we? I see this place as a type of purgatory, that some of us learn and some of us become worse than we were before. I don't know how to redeem myself. The other ghosts involved are probably someplace else. They're not as used to being let down as I am. I don't blame you, not really, but I wouldn't listen to everything that the library ghost has to say if I were you. He has his reason for being trapped here like the rest of us. That's a good point. He has some kind of unfinished business, or, if we go by your theory, some kind of unresolved sin. You wouldn't know it, but we've only known him a short while. Find out who you were. I think if you know, you might be able to determine why you're here. I committed suicide. How can I ever make amends for that? I wish I knew. Good luck to you. I'd kind of suspected that. And your despair has been never-ending. That's why I really want to do right by you most of all. I mean, the others are at least driven by hatred, but you don't even have that. Who am I? Please stop asking me that. I'm not entirely sure how to answer you. I strongly suggest you stop dwelling on your past, though, and move on. We can get the gate to work, I'm sure, with more effort. It kind of seems like you don't want me to know who I am, because the schoolyard ghost suggested that it'll only work if I do know. You saw the girl in the graveyard, didn't you? Yes, she came to see you. Or rather, who you were. You can read your name off of the headstone, if you remember which it was. But I don't think it's very important. How can you say that? Using the beer bottle was very clever. I believe he was hit by a drunk driver. Probably the very same man that has become our new town drunk. The problem is, I don't think he died from the impact. The ghost in the church, Marion, lived in the house that was burned to the ground to the southwest of here. It's all rubble now. And I've looked over the remains. Then again, I wouldn't know what was missing or added. Well, how about my bone buddy? I really haven't found anything more on the sad ghost. Nothing that adds to what you already know, anyway. She's hidden herself away, and I'm not sure why. I'd just give up on her if I were you. You're looking less and less like a friend the longer this goes on. We had come to have our own little place in this ecosystem, and now I'm less sure of it. The town drunk has moved on as well. Maybe we can track him down? She's fallen asleep. Ah, we can search the person location database, capital letters only. Which means we can search our own name. Wait, let's caps lock. Deceased. Homicide. 17 School Road. Killed on April 30th, case file 99821. Witness, Dana Chess. Gunshot to head, no weapon recovered. Chess suspected, case on hiatus. Chess puts blame on an unidentified bald Caucasian male mugger. That explains the missing eye. That was where we were hit. Okay, what if we search Dana Chess? Living, suspected in the homicide of fiancé Adam Smith, last known to see him alive prior to his death. Case still under investigation, details classified. 17 School Road. We've got to track her down, and you know what? I bet it's that house with the light on, all the way down the block by the school. Let's go as far to the right as we can, and head downward. No, we still can't get in. But that is the house. Look, 17. That's the place. Okay, we'll keep that in mind for later. Oh, look at you. You've wound up in the very same hospital bed. I'm not strong enough to pull the chart off the bed or modify it. How frustrating. Well, are you strong enough to look at it? It says this guy walked into traffic while drunk. They don't know who he is. Say, isn't this the bum from before? You would think that somebody would really like the opportunity to screw with him now. Oh, hey, look at you! Oh, you're strong enough to go on like a terrorizing spree. You're gonna have to stop that. I don't want to go touching that into the doctor, thanks. Oh, it is a doctor. An upside-down doctor. I guess the ghost didn't like him. Let's get back there. Ghost or zombie? Hard to tell with this nasty thing. Your guess is as good as mine. I hate doctors. It's Rick Madison. If it wasn't for him, these stupid doctors wouldn't have killed me in the first place. He can just rot here for all I care. He's dying. He needs a transplant, but they don't know who his family is. Oh well. Too bad. Rick Madison, maybe we can look him up on the computer. This chapter seems to be all about names. So let's see what we can dig up. Rick Madison. I really wish this game gave us a Rolodex. No address. Previously 1142 Hanlon Boulevard. Charged with DUI in case of Stephen Marks, assault and homicide. Blue 82 Honda Civic impounded, never claimed. Guilty verdict in Mark's case. Madison sentenced to 2 to 4 years. Released after 2 months. Supported by twin brother Michael Madison. Medical expenses and charge given to Michael Madison. Alright, well first, Stephen Marks. Teacher at Mayer Elementary School. Deceased in hospital after car accident involving Rick Madison. Okay. Next up then is his brother, Michael. Currently living at 1142 Hanlon. Dr. Michael Madison. Dr. Michael Madison moved from Sunport, Florida in 1997. Sports convicted felon, fraternal twin brother, Rick Madison. Was he making sure to finish the job? Have I got info for you? I was on my motorcycle, and Rick Madison hit me with his car. He was drunk. Can you believe that? There's no excuse for that. Rick got himself drunk, so it's his fault when he hit me, and it's his fault now. He should have had more control than that. The hospital was what killed me, true. Rick started the process, and the idiot doctors that didn't realize I was actually dying finished me off. I hate doctors. I don't make mistakes. Okay, terrorizing that doctor was maybe a little excessive. What are you trying to suggest? The ghost in the schoolyard mentioned to me that we have to redeem ourselves if we expect to use that gate. How do we do that? I don't know how to do that anymore. Well, should we not tell you about the brother? Okay. I see your point. I'll help the stupid guy. They'll be able to help him if they know who he is. I'll go find a doctor. I hope you're right about this redemption thing. Imagine the ghost stories we're creating here even if we don't see them. A dead hit-and-run patient whispering the name of their current one, actually the one who killed him in the first place, in the ear of the medical staff. He doesn't deserve this help, but I guess this is what it takes. Before we had to get them to agree to help us, now we have to help them. What about you? The best way to research somebody is to use information that isn't biased. The police station is good, blah blah blah. I can't change the past. I can't change what happened to my daughter Emily. Poor little Emily Holloway. She didn't deserve to die so young. I can't help but blame myself. I should have been there for her. Alright. Emily Holloway. I wonder if she knows what happened. If not, this could actually be the closure she needs. Infant, 341 Canyon Way. Deceased at age 2 months. Infant death. Doesn't really say much. And your name was Rebecca, right? How is that spelled? Suicide. Found in home, self-hanging. Note discovered linking suicide to daughter's death. Father unknown. Oh, there they are. Oh, terrorizing that kid again, huh? Now would be a great time for a power boost. They don't sense or feel you. Too weak. I suppose we took a hit after the failed gate attempt. Can't get that back just yet. I imagine we're going to if they're still out here. Wow, they really just never learn, huh? But maybe after we've seen the other ghosts. Wait. I bet if we go to that girl, this ghost will follow us. We can get her in on a joint scare. Oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be legendary. Alright, let's go. And that is terrifying. But she's not scared of you. Do you recognize her as a protector? Maybe now's our chance. She finally got to bring joy to children, all she ever wanted. And I guess that means she's ready to help us. Now this only leaves the church ghost, and she's back. I died because I found something. I found something horrible down there. What was it? This is really annoying me. Like when you discover your husband murdered someone and buried their corpse in the basement, it's just like really annoying, Well, we have that proof now, but let's see the rest of your dialogue. I lived in the burned out building. You can't really miss it. Hazard tape is still up. I don't want to talk about my husband anymore. I figured out where he lives, but I won't make a move until I can remember more. The gate was a stupid idea from the start. I doubt it'll ever open, and I don't really care. I love fire. It's cleansing. But I would rather have not burned to a crisp, naturally. Yeah, well, what about this? Darwin, do your thing. Where did you find this? My old house? That explains everything. Why I was killed. I remember the basement. It was... Greg Tobrin will burn for this. Mark my words. Oh, well, we just ruined somebody's day. Greg Tobrin, living at 56 Chelsea Street, formerly implicated in the fire of his previous home and death of his wife, Marion Tobrin. Charges dropped. 2 restraining orders in place. Arrested on 3 occasions for trespassing on private property. He has it coming. Marion. Deceased November 12th. Accidental fire in home. Survived by husband Greg. Possible arson. Dropped on February 2nd due to lack of evidence. Even if he does have a well-established history of being a piece of crap. Alright, it's right down the street. And off he goes into the night, so I guess he's not dead. Let's not knock. I guess that's all there is to it. The guy that ran from the fire. He's gone. Gone to where, I wonder? Can we spot him? We may have to chase him down. That window is closed now. That guy must have closed this window. Which means we can no longer enter. Who are you? He just now took pictures of the graveyard east of here. Why would somebody do that? Let alone from this distance. That's kind of suspicious. It surely is. Oh my god, it really is a detective game. Let's follow him. Oh, careful not to get too close. It's like we say in the mob, if you're more than 40 feet behind, you ain't suspicious. I am surprised at how deep this game is and how long it's going on for. Yep, you're gonna lead us straight back to the house, aren't you? Yeah, that confirms it. Oh, sorry we stole your candle earlier. But that just makes me think, I wonder, are we gonna show up on that picture? Maybe someone will open it soon. I hope that's the case. Meantime, we've got to get back to Ivan. Ivan, you're not going to believe all this stuff that's going on. The stalking man. He is Marion's previous husband. I think this is extremely suspicious. I would try to find him again. Stake out that house he fled to if you have to, until he comes out. And being a ghost, we've got all the time and patience in the world, huh? Dude, imagine being that guy. You think you've gotten away scot-free? Meanwhile, there's a whole paranormal underworld conspiring to make sure you get justice. Alright, I'll be straight with you. I was a police officer until my own health problems removed me from duty. I worked on the serial murder cases. That's why I know much of the details on them. Well, that certainly explains the mustache. I'm not sure why I'm still here, but I'm glad I am. I won't give up on my duties. I don't think I'm obsessed, but there have been numerous deaths in this community, and I swore I wouldn't give up until they're resolved. So tell me about my identity. Again, I think you need to find your own facts. I can't tell you how you died, except that we found your body with a single gunshot to the head in the graveyard. I never had any suspects. I hate to admit defeat, but... So just when did you die? That doesn't make any sense. I haven't been dead for that long, but you've been dead for years, yet you worked my case? Maybe you mean from beyond the grave, I don't know. But about the stalking man's house, I don't think the place he ran to was his main lair. It sounds like the main one was burned to the ground by Marion. The new place must be temporary parking, but I'll bet he has clues there that you can use. Tell me about what you find. I will. Oh, the plot is thickening. We're actually solving things instead of just trying to move on. We helped everybody else get their closure. Now, we need to go seek ours. Windows open again. And he's got his boredom crazy. I can't pull them off, but maybe I can look at them? That's our corpse. Adam's somebody, Dana's fiancé, got in the way. Look at this. That's us. That's our human form. Andrea R. Kate Bellman, 4 p.m. Marion, your wife. And Dana's next. I got in the way. So you're specifically targeting these women. I wonder if there's a pattern between them, or if this is just what you do. You seem to care about who specifically you're going after. Okay, well that means we don't have any time to lose. I'm not sure what you want to do with that. No, this. Come on. Kate Bellman was the only full name on that board. The only person we don't know. Missing. Reported missing October 24th. No further records. Not good. Not good at all. Do we head for Ivan, or do we go straight to the house? He's probably on his way there right now. Your newest password is Cardinal. Oh no. That's the same woman who visited you in the graveyard, Dana Chess. The other people in the pictures you describe are all previous deaths and serial murders. I can't go to her house. You should go immediately to check on her. Yeah, you told me to come to you. It certainly explains who killed you if you were in this photo collection. But it doesn't seem like he killed you on purpose. He focused on women. I think you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, but you may have saved the woman's life. And now we're gonna do it again. She's right there. He hasn't arrived yet, and she's just sitting here with her door wide open like a moron. It's the same girl from the graveyard, Dana Chess. She's busy reading. She only shivers a little when touched. She doesn't know that it's us. But what can we do? We don't have anything in our inventory. This must be the ugliest painting out there. Poor woman having to look at it all the time. Here he comes. No, you don't. Let me in. That was my ex, wasn't it? I followed him all the way here when I saw he didn't die in his house after all. I'm going to burn this apartment to the ground. And this time, nobody will get out. Well, hang on. You could hold off for just a second. Do I stop her from burning the apartment? Yes. Oh, I get it. We should act together. Good idea. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, that was resolved surprisingly easily. You don't know what I've been through. You can't understand. But you will in the end. Look at those glowing red eyes he's got. It is my right to educate the most beautiful. It is my duty. And at the end of time, they will all be by my side in heaven. You're like motivated religiously. You truly are blessed to witness something great tonight. You are witnessing my becoming. We're witnessing you become something. With each life I become stronger, and the heaven beyond this earth is filled with the beauties I select, just as the lords of Egypt. All the pieces are in place. For each body buried, there is one less voice that chants, and there will be peace. The ultimate peace for us both is now. Pray for us both. Make those your last words. What was that? Did you feel that? And there goes your sleeve. Now I can take the gun, knock it out of your hands. And a human hand ends it. And so, after the police finish with their questions and all the media blah blah blah, Alec, Bobby, and Clyde turn to less terrifying hobbies. Ivan of the library returns to his true passion. Rebecca readies to finally see Emily once again. And Sarah lives without fear. The hospital's tormentor continues to keep the staff on their toes. Rick and Dana find that they have more in common than a supernatural experience. Marion gains her resolution. Greg Toberin will gain his, either in life or death. And when the gate was reopened, the case was finally closed. So that was the Dead Case, and even now, that was so enjoyable. Something like this, I think, is really timeless in a way because, sure, it's rough, but that means that a lot of the charm of a truly independent developer and enthusiast comes through. They had a story that they really wanted to tell, and using very limited resources, they made it happen. I mean, sure, the gameplay itself is a little lacking, like the puzzles were all really, really simple, and a lot of the time I would find things out long before the game actually told me those things and would allow me to act on those discoveries. But especially from after the first act onward, it was just really so compelling, and the entire time you're just immersed in this 2000s, like I said, I call it urban spooky vibe. That endlessly repeating soundtrack and the art style, the way it has this darkness even in its simplistic graphics, I don't know, it's just got this great voice to it, this sense of cynical humor. while still taking its main plot seriously. It's got numerous characters that all serve a different purpose in the narrative, how we get to slowly learn their stories as well as our own, and how they connect over time, the way it all builds to an actual satisfying climax, even after the one we thought we were working for is kind of pulled out from under us. There is a screenplay in this. I mean, it's very loosely done, but there is something here, and you can see what the creator was going for. It's like, even as we're playing this basic representation of this story, we can see the movie playing in our head. It's just such a great atmospheric passion project, and I think it's so cool that even 20 years later, even after the platform that it's on has been discontinued, it's still been preserved so we can come back and play it. It took me about 2 hours to finish this one, and that is crazy long for a free Flash game. But also, it reminds me of those days of finding that diamond in the rough. I mean, these Flash game sites were saturated with games, and new ones were being added all the time. A lot of the time you'd click on one and spend 30 seconds on it and be like, that was dumb, or occasionally you'd find something a bit better that you'd come back to, but this is the kind of thing where you'd be doing that regular browsing, and then by the end of it, you look at the clock and realize, oh, the sun's going down. You just never expected to find something this deep. Let's have a look at these credits, shall we? Oh, it's just the same stuff again. Copyright April 30th, 2004. Wow, actually a fair few people worked on this. This is actually a huge production for a Flash game, and in a way, a time capsule. That's what I was really hoping for from this, a time capsule, something that could be appreciated then and now, maybe in slightly different ways, but it also allows me to put myself in the mindset of the time, allows me to remember those little details that I thought nothing of in the moment. The little conventions, that were just the way things are done then, that are little period pieces now. And this whole thing is a period piece while still holding up. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.